Hello. So, my name is Lauren Plaza, and I'm part of the Philippine National Triathlon team, and I'm a junior elite triathlete. So, I'm asking if these supplements are allowed for athletes under 18.
Okay, so I have something to say about the last three questions, but I'll start with you, Ms. Plaza. And congratulations for representing us. Okay, supplements are actually what your body basically needs from the moment you were born to when you hit the bucket. Okay, sorry.
That's a nice way to say it, Tom. That's a nice way to say it.
So it's something that you have to provide your body, not only for performance, but also for recovery, most especially for recovery. We always tell our athletes to get enough rest because that's when your body actually repairs itself. It cannot repair itself fully if you don't supply what it needs. So I don't believe in the age restriction of supplements. In fact, we all know that vitamin B has always been abused by parents who want their kids to grow taller, and we have certain brands which pack these products with high dose vitamin B and we don't even know it. So the answer to your question is yes, you can take this at any age. In my experience in sports medicine, the age children enter sports now is getting younger and younger. I just did an ACL on a 13-year-old the other week, so these are even high demand athletes and they're below 18 years old. So yes, you have to replace the supplements that the vitamins that their body needs for not only for performance but the recovery. Did I answer your question, Ms. Plaza?
Yes.
Thank you. Question with the fan of Kim Grover. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sugar. Sugar is essential. You have your carbohydrates, you have your proteins, you have your fats. All of these things are important. Don't believe the doctors who tell you that fat is not important. It's even harmful because that's how we recover. But carbs or sugars, you have to pick the right sugars. We stay away from simple sugars, especially processed sugars. So you stay away from the most harmful forms of carbohydrates are not even sweet. Rice is not sweet. Okay, bread is not sweet, sometimes pasta is not sweet. Those are the simple carbohydrates we have to avoid, or at least minimize our intake of. So choose complex sugars. What are these? Cellulose and starch. Okay, so cellulose you find in fruits and vegetables, starch you find in root crops. Did I answer your question? Oh, Ben, sorry. And Evan Sparko for the volcanoes. Pick-me-uppers or pre-workout supplements are not really recommended because of what everybody said. It picks you up, but it drops you down quite fast. So I always believe in going back to the basics. So nutrition, training, and supplementation. You have to choose these three very carefully. Nutrition by a professional. You have to personalize your nutrition. Second, supplementation, you have to test your body what it really needs. And training, trust the coaches who have years of experience and don't believe in the fads and myths propagated in the internet.
Now, Doc, before we move on to our next question, we've tackled a lot about sugar in the last couple of minutes. I know this might be a bit of a controversial question, but what are your answers to the alternatives like stevia, Splenda, all these other things that are coming up? Are those healthy for you? Are they actually healthy alternatives?
Well, you did mention stevia already. Stevia is one that is made from natural, it's from agave actually, so it's safe, yes. Don't choose sweeteners which are made from amino acids like phenylalanine and elsewhere, other stuff. Cocoa sugar is also made from, of course, coconut. So choose sweeteners which are made from natural, plant-based. Honey, of course, but you have to choose your honey. There are a lot of honey brands out there that are half brown sugar.
All right, I think we have another question over here. Take it away.
Hi, I'm B from Rappler, and then I just want to ask, like, for example, the average Joe, like athletes would invest on supplements, but the average Joe would think twice. Like, even for multivitamins, do I really need multivitamins and supplements? So why should, like people who are non-athletes take supplements? Like, just the basic question.
That's a very good question. It's actually the reason for that misconception is actually the doctors. We used to, including myself, we used to discourage our patients from taking vitamins. We always tell our patients it's just a recipe for expensive urine. That's not true anymore. Okay, your body heals itself. It's a basic premise. It cannot heal itself if it does not have everything that it needs. And vitamins are actually cofactors. Sorry, that's a pretty technical term. Cofactors are your cell goes through the same processes every day, and these processes are powered by vitamins. So if you don't have the vitamins in your body, these processes won't push through. They always say just eat a well-balanced diet. Who knows what a well-balanced diet here is? And it differs from person to person, from body to body. Now, if you are not an athlete, you still undergo wear and tear. It's a daily thing that the body, that's why we age, that's why we degenerate. But the body has the inherent capacity to regenerate. So just provide everything that it needs, and yes, you don't get everything from the food that you eat. Did I answer your question?
And I think we have time for one or two more. There we go.
Hi, I'm Jax from ANCX. I have also played, like the gentleman over there, I also play a lot of sports, and they give us reminders on what you shouldn't eat before training and before a competition. What do you think are general guidelines of what you shouldn't eat just before training and just before a competition, for example?
Okay, again, back to basics. You have to maintain a nutrition that's right for your body type, right for you, and the demands that you put on your body. So I really don't believe, and I know that I will get a lot of flack for this, I really don't believe in eating specific foods for specific sports. There's no such thing. If your body is well fed, well nourished, it's good to go any time of the day.
Like, sorry, for example,
Carbo loading.
Some of my coaches before told me not to eat eggs or beef just before your match because it will make you feel heavy.
Before playing.
Before training, before
Before training.
playing a match, or drinking coffee. I don't know if that helps. Or what would be some general guidelines?
Did they tell you what the reason is why you can't eat eggs?
Make you feel heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably an offshoot of the adage or the advice or the recommendation that you should be eating carbohydrates mostly before training because that's where you get your energy from, your fuel from. I don't think eggs will make you feel heavy. Eggs are actually a pure source of protein which your body needs to recover or repair itself. So, like I said, I don't really recommend or avoid or prevent my athletes from eating specific kinds of food. But of course, it's also based on the personal comfort of the person. If eating bread before training makes him feel sluggish because it makes him feel bloated because he's sensitive to wheat, then you should avoid eating bread or any yeast-containing product before training. So it's also a personal kind of thing.
So no, actually, I have a question to add to that because we've heard a few instances of people saying average Joe, performance. We've had, of course, the questions about clean. So, but for example, you are training yourself and you haven't had the time or you don't get the chance to see professionals or coaches. You train at your own time. Where do you draw the line, or how can you identify you training yourself for general fitness and you actually doing a performance level activity? Because sometimes, we're motivated ourselves, sometimes we motivate ourselves, sometimes we can't tell that difference. And the second part to that question is, of course, how does clean help us in that aspect?
Okay, this is also a side of sports science where genomics enters. They say that your body is built for a specific kind of sport. You all know who Usain Bolt is.
Yeah.
Okay. There are two types of actin molecules. This is the substance in your muscles. One is for speed and one is for endurance. Did you know that Usain Bolt tested positive genomically for endurance? So he's not supposed to be the fastest man alive if you just look at his genes. But he was able to achieve this because of training. In other words, the answer to your question is you can train your body for whatever you want it to be. And where Clean Athlete comes in, it's to supply what it needs during this specific kind of training.
Now, of course, if you'd like to add to that, of course, Relista, I want to know, for the average Joe, how does this affect us on a day-to-day basis? Because I don't think it's been asked enough today. We've heard about performance, we've heard about athletes, but how does clean help an average Joe?
It's just for well-being, and it's just you just feel good when you take supplements for clean. I think it's for an average Joe, even if you don't even if you don't reach the zone 5 of your heart rate, it's okay. You feel better. You feel good.
Anybody can be, well, anybody, I don't believe in an average Joe. Anybody can reach level 5.
Everybody maabot mo yung zone 5. It's adaptation. You cannot reach a zone 5 if you can start in zone 1. So adaptation is the key and consistency.
Now, the reason I also wanted to ask that question is because some people are intimidated. Sometimes they don't have enough knowledge, that's why we have these types of things. To take something like this, a supplement like this, it actually helps everybody, no matter what their sport is, if they're an athlete or just an average Joe. That's why I wanted to ask this question. Before we wrap up, is there any